You ready?
Yeah, I'm just Googling famous people that listed their homes.
All right, you keep Googling. I'm going to start the show.
Yeah, you want to?
This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 97 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
The word is up. We've got two.
We have a lot of surprises coming, though, in the next couple of
Lots
weeks.
of surprises. Oh, yeah.
So many fun things.
Get ready for them all.
Maybe I'm more excited than you are, but
I'm excited too. And
stick with us.
we've got two rackets today. No Marketeer. We're begging you. Put some Marketeers even in the comments. So you don't have to email them to us. Just put in the comment, hey, you got to check out this person.
Maybe
They're doing
people have
great.
already tapped out. They're like, it's like Thanksgiving.
They're doing a great job marketing this listing video. Put it into the comments. And then we'll put them on the Marketeer section of the show. All right. Two rackets. Number one, let's get right into it. Realogy sells Cartus for $400 million. Did you think this day would ever come?
I'm flabbergasted, to be honest, because I feel like I'm just shocked. But go ahead. You want to continue reading the thing? I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Again, I mean, as you read on it like there's still going to be, for as much as we know, they'll still be giving them to the Realogy agents. But I'm surprised. I mean, I feel like there's zero overhead for them because the agents are pretty much paying probably almost 40% in commissions.
45.
But then Realogy's also like capping their splits. So like if you are at like an 8 banana, like you're down to like a 6 banana with the there's just so much money. I'm surprised.
An 80% banana, now you're at a 60%.
Yes, you get a cap
commission.
Plus you on top of the referral. I mean, the agent's pretty much paying for this service, but Realogy is now selling it over to Serva.
Yeah, they're selling it to Serva worldwide. The sale does not include affinity programs like the newly announced partnerships with Amazon, AARP. We talked about the Amazon partnership.
So maybe this was part of that stipulation. I wonder if maybe Amazon was requiring them to relinquish.
Maybe, or it has more to do with their sinking stock prices, which have just been plummeting for the last 2 years. It could be one of those two things, right?
It's
allocate dollars.
It's very interesting though, because I feel like there's a lot of Realogy agents that rely heavily on this Cartus.
Oh God, yeah. But
partnership.
To your point, it sounds like right now the leads that the Realogy agents, if they're a CB or whatever they are agent, they're still going to get maybe, it sounds like, their relocation leads. Because if I'm an agent and I'm a Realogy agent, I'm like, what the heck? If I'm working reload, that's a lead pillar that potentially could get wiped out if Serva doesn't want to generate or facilitate those leads over to Realogy. Yeah. Sounds like they're still going to get their leads. So
they just lose control. I mean, you're losing control.
But so for Realogy,
$400 million?
$400 million in a time where they need
money,
the cash assets. We know what we've talked about on this show, the debt that they have, the sinking stock price, all of that. They take the $400 million off the table,
which I feel like right now is probably the best time to cash out,
and then they still get the leads over to their agents. So maybe this is a good strategic move. It only becomes great if something like this Amazon partnership can really take off and make the overall company of Realogy, the stock overall, super profitable for the investors.
Right. So, to answer your question, no, I didn't think this day would ever come. That was your question. Wasn't that your question?
Yeah, I didn't think it would either, because when you think about Cartus, when you think about relocation, it's a good deal for the agents because they're getting free leads. Not a great deal, a good deal because they're paying the 45% referral fees.
Setup is kind of screwed up. Sorry.
And it also is a great deal for Realogy, who had the relationship with Cartus because of market share in certain areas. I do believe that relocation could be vulnerable in the sense of, what is Zillow going to do in the relocation world?
They should.
What's Op City going to do in the relocation world? So maybe they're getting out at the right time.
It's like an old boys club, this relo little shenanigans.
Old girls club. All right. Racket number 2.
I take that back. You are right. It's an old girls club.
Racket number 2. Airbnb pushes new safety measures days after a deadly party house shooting. When we saw this, so this is a CNBC article. We'll link this up, of course, like we do all of the articles we're pulling from. When we saw this, we're like, wait a minute.
Was this what we were talking about? Do we have the wrong?
Yeah, do we have the wrong thing? It was open door shooting, which it sounds like nobody died in the open door shooting.
No one died. Well, not that I know of. They were
Here,
injured.
In this Airbnb shooting, there was 5 people that were killed. This is a California house that was booked through the site.
Yep.
They had a house party in this house that was booked. CEO Brian Chesky says Airbnb will now verify 100% of the listings on site. Also hints that the company may pursue a stock listing over an IPO. I don't know what that has to do with this.
Well, then these are the new. No, go back up. You're going too quickly.
I'm going too quick.
Yeah,
there we go.
So these are the.
Here's the new 4 key changes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They're going to verify the 100% of listings. I just said that. They're going to establish a guest guarantee in case guests arrive at a listing that does not match its online description. I thought they had that, but okay.
Well, it's an interesting one. I feel like that's a way to scam a little, but
Airbnb will also create a 24/7 neighborhood hotline staffed by real people.
That makes me a little nervous.
That it's going to be real people? You'd rather have the fake people?
No, just that there's like a neighborhood. Like you think about just here in our community, right? There are now homeowners associations or areas that are now putting like a minimum on rentals to like 30 days. Like think about like Pine Orchard and Brantford is trying desperately within that organization.
Because they don't want people moving in and out in the neighborhood. They don't want Airbnbs
for one night, right? So I feel like this, if they haven't been successful in that, I mean, I guess my biggest question here is what
that's more the towns and the associations. Airbnb doesn't care about that. They'd rather see nightly rentals.
I'm hearing you. My point is though, is that if there isn't an association to actually do that, right? The neighbor could just call. So what does Airbnb do if there's so many, if the neighborhood hotline is getting blown up on one property? Are they just
complaining? People complaining. Yeah.
Yes.
This could open up a can of worms.
Yeah. Are they just going to remove the listing from Airbnb? I mean, gosh, if that's true, it's just going to. I feel like it's just the whole thing is going to self-destruct.
The 4th change is the company will conduct manual reviews of high-risk listings. It's funny. All these tech companies, Facebook, right? They've been in front of Congress multiple times now and all this kind of stuff. When they kind of get pushed into a corner, they always start saying, oh, we're going to do all these manual reviews. Now, don't worry. We're going to hire another 150 people, and we're going to put them in our manual review department because here's the thing. They don't have the answer to solve any of these problems because everything's happening so quickly. Airbnb took market share over some boutique hotels very, very quickly. It seems like it happened overnight, but it's a course of maybe 5 years or something that this kind of happened.
I'm actually surprised there hasn't been, I won't say shootings because I don't think every party has weapons, but I'm actually surprised that we don't hear more about party. Sort of the same thing like we were just talking about last week with Open Door. I mean, gosh, like I feel like I would have gone to an Airbnb party.
I think everything's happening so quickly that Open Door, Airbnb, Zillow offers, whatever you want to talk about where people are, whoa.
Hello.
Whoa.
You clicked on it.
Whatever it is where people are, I gave Chase a quick little click on that ad there. Yep. Whatever it is where people are accessing homes at scale without representation, agent, Airbnb representative to get the key, whatever it is. These are uncharted territories because it's not like going to a hotel where I get it. Most of the time people don't walk you up to the room.
There's a doorman.
But a hotel's a doorman. They have a security measure. They have cameras. They have all these different things.
There's like an age minimum and you're checking in and showing off your license.
What are the security measures for Zillow offer properties, Open Door properties, Airbnb properties, right? Like a hotline is great, but I also have 911 in my pocket. Right. So I can get to an emergency pretty quickly. What are you actually doing? I think it's got to go. I think the whole world will be videoed, basically. You're not going to be able to make any move at some point in our lives without it being on camera. I think that day's coming.
I feel like we're already there.
But like at even ridiculous scale of like being able to just like zoom in like really close and actually see what you're doing. Like you ever see somebody like robbing the store and everything's like fuzzy. You can't even tell if the person's like a male or a female, right? Like you're going to be able to tell everything pretty soon.
Well, Actually, there's an article that I was going to send to you that I thought we could talk about today. So maybe we could talk about that next week.
Yes.
That sort of leads to that.
What is it about?
Well, nope.
Oh, wow.
You'll have to come back. You have to come back. I guess my biggest concern here is obviously the neighborhoods, right? Like people that are living around these homes, what kind of things are being put into place to sort of preserve these neighborhoods, these homes, these.
Airbnb was a great thing for people that had either unique property, well-located property, where they could, if they're not there all the time, get some income off of it. If they have extra
or if
bedrooms.
You're a traveler and you're like, I want to live in the city, not in like this hotel.
Whatever you want, a different experience, all that kind of stuff, and it opened up the door for these individual owners of these real estate holdings. Like anything else, if it's really good, if the margins are really good, what will end up happening? And Toll Brothers, we talked about this, is already doing it. There's going to be big players that come in and build out Airbnb communities. Well, we don't have to worry about it being approved because we're the association. We own the community.
Right.
So this will be the benefit of Airbnb will eventually, my belief, be in the hands of big companies and corporations, and the little guy, the little individual owner, is going to eventually get phased out of the benefit of Airbnb.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
That is not a racket.
No. But this unfortunate incident is very much a racket.
This is an unfortunate racket.
I mean, and they both parties happened on Halloween, so
yeah,
Halloween was a very
we're
busy.
Not talking about any more shootings next week on The Real Word.
No.
If you got a Marketeer, any comments, please put them in the comment sections. Keep it real. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.